Hey, what's going on, Coach Cruz fam? Well, we're back again on our unscheduled day. That is Wednesday. Most of you know out there that we normally come live on Tuesday, but because of the early season coaching responsibilities, we've had a couple games to start off the season. And the good news, unlike last week, this week we are victorious. We won our first game yesterday, 20-0. So yeah, it's something to be celebrated. We're happy with that, and we're 1-1 on the season now, and we play again on Saturday. So we'll see how that goes. But so that's the good news to share. I just posted in the comments with Chris, because Chris coaches as well and teaches as well, that our game was at 7 p.m. He had an 8 a.m. game, I guess, on Labor Day of all days. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm happy to report I got to sleep in on Labor Day, and I enjoyed it very much. I don't get to do that as often as I'd like. All right. Well, let me say hi. I already congratulated our 3 medalists, which are Klesko with the gold, Mandy with the silver, and Stephanie Shelley got the bronze for checking in first. And right behind them, we had Admin Tim and his lovely wife, Cheryl. Always great to see all of you in the comments. And then shortly after that, Chris Moss jumped in, and I see a bunch of others of you have jumped on. So if you haven't already posted in the comments and said, hey, do that. Will G is here. He says, evening all. And Patty Cakes is saying, hey to everybody. What is going on, both of you? We got Marjorie Ambroise. That last name gets me. I know I didn't pronounce that right, but I'm sorry, Marjorie. But thank you for being here. We got Ben from just up the street in Milwaukee. We are the Cubs are trying to chase down his Brewers. I don't think they're going to make it. They're 5 games back, but the Brewers have been struggling a little bit, and the Cubs have been playing a little better. So you never know. There's still a little bit of season left, so they could pull off an upset. I don't think it's going to happen. Hot T is back. Good to see you, Hot T. I haven't seen you in a minute. Great to see you back here. And we got Baby Cuts Music in the house saying hi, Coach. I've heard that band, Baby Cuts. They're pretty good. You guys should check them out on YouTube. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I mean, as per normal, I think of a topic usually the day of the show, sometimes the day before when I'm really on point or whatever. And I said, well, what am I going to talk about today? I've been so busy and everything. And, I started to think about, all the things we love about cruising, and I'm already looking forward to my next cruise. And I think some people, were posting on Facebook how many days it was and on Messenger until their next cruise. And then I don't know, it gave me the idea, like what's better than cruising? And, I thought about, obvious things that are better than cruising, like air. That's the example I used in the description. That's oxygen is clearly better than cruising. I will sign up for oxygen over cruising at any point. Now, that being said, there's some obvious ones that come to mind, but I want this to be more of an interactive thing. I see we have 25 already, and for an unscheduled day, I know we got up over 40 last week. I couldn't believe it, considering this isn't our normal day and everything. Carl Hamilton's in the house and starting us off with the super chats. That is great. Thank you, Carl. Let me get you up there. He says, yo, Coach. What up, Carl? Good to see you. Thank you, sir. And yeah, he's got us going. And the good news is, let me go through from last week who we have. We have Sherry and Jay that are on a cruise right now. They just text me about a bar crawl that is wild on their current cruise ship that they were just, sent me some pictures of and everything. And it looked really cool. And they're like, Coach, you might have to step your game up. They had everybody dressed in big wigs and like dresses and big glasses and stuff. It's kind of hard to explain, but it looked like a lot of fun. And they said close to 40 people dressed up like that. So that was pretty cool. So they're 1 through 17 because they were the last 33 in the drawing before, and Sherry had won the drawing last week. We got Eric from North Shore Travelers. He is numbers 18 through 27. We have JB 28 through 37. We have Cruising Chris Moss, who's in attendance tonight, 38 through 47. And we just had Carl jump in there with a $2 sticker. That is 48 and 49. Okay, so we are just 101 away, and we will give away another bag if you want. And if for the new people out there, we have these very large, I always say we, but it's mostly me, very large cooler bags. It takes up the whole screen as I hold it up there. And I mean, you could fit seriously, easily like a case of beer or whatever with lots of ice. And I've done it already. I've used this bag, not this individual bag. This one's brand new. It's got a little bottle opener. Excuse me. But yeah, those bags are nice and they're thick. They're good quality, everything. But for example, Sherry last week won a bag, and if she didn't want to win another bag, she could opt for the traditional Coach Cruise shirt, and then she would also get an additional 50 drawings in the next set of drawings. So she would be 1 through 50. So if any of you, I believe Chris has won a bag already. I think you have, right, Chris? And I think I sent that out. So if he didn't want to win another bag, he could opt for, hey, give me a shirt and then give me 50 extra tickets into the next drawing. And he could do that as well. One other thing I wanted to give away, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I have one extra of these. So I'll consider this like a shirt, the John Heel duck. So for those of you that want those exclusive John Heel ducks, I got one more of those as well, because I know some of you have won just about everything. So, all right, so let's go through some more comments here. Yeah, Tim says they're nice coolers. Received ours today. Yeah, admin Tim, of course, for all of Tim does, yeah. I mean, I'm glad you like it, Tim and Cheryl, and Sherry gifted them her win last week. I'm sorry. And Will G says they're dressed like, look at that. We got Cruising Chris Moss here. The cooler bag is awesome. Also, if you're not subscribed or a member, what are you waiting for? Membership has its privileges. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. I'm going to try to dig up here the membership thing. And let's just put that in the comments right there. So if there is anybody that wants to join and become a member, it's only $5 a month, and you get a little gift. You get a smaller cooler bag, actually, and then, a koozie, and I'll probably throw some stickers and stuff like that. But yeah, for anybody that's on Facebook or YouTube, if you click that link for $5 a month, you can join in. So Cruising Chris Moss is going to get us going on shots. And let me say something. I like Chris always tries to do math for me, which I appreciate, him being a teacher and all. I do appreciate that. So he got us back to an even number. So we are, Chris, you are 50 through 65. And we're almost halfway through the Whistle Pig. As I told you, where is it? Yeah, 100 proof right there. So I don't mess with this too much. I was about to say I've been fasting for the past day and a half. I haven't eaten anything. And so I had a drink before the show started. And I got to admit, it hit me like twice as hard as it normally would, when I'd be eating. So yeah, they might hit me a little quicker today. So we have the Whistle Pig, and Zoe, come here. I'm going to do my shot first since Zoe wasn't ready, but Cruising Chris Moss. Thank you, sir. Oh, okay. That's 100 proof. High five, Chris. What do you say? Oh, wow. That was a lot of thank yous right there. Thank you for that again, Chris. Yeah, she really wanted that one. All right. So, I need your help. I had an entry from somebody on Facebook in regards to one of the 50 things that are better than cruising. And Baby Cuts said ice cream. And I said in response to the ice cream, is it the regular kind of ice cream or is it like the ice cream they talk about on the cruise? And they said the ice cream they talk about on the cruise. So if you know, you know. So we're going to list ice cream twice, unless there's any disagreements about ice cream being better than cruising. and here's the thing on this top 50 list, I think we got to look at it like this. Okay, so there might be one of you out there might be a vegetarian. So obviously you're not going to think of, a steak as better than cruising because you don't eat steak, right? But I think what we need to do is kind of like a majority thing. The other thing I was thinking about is I believe there will be several food ones, and there needs to be some specific foods. Like I'm gonna throw tacos out there. I mean, I don't think the world should be without tacos, right? Like if you couldn't cruise anymore, oh, I don't know. We can put tacos up for debate, come to think of it. Mandy says, if you can get ice cream on a cruise. Yes. Patty Cake says, make sure to hit like. And Carl is saying, drink another. Okay. All right. So, you know what, Carl, you already threw 2 in earlier. So you're pretty much there anyway. So I will, sir, because you got 12 up there. So we'll go ahead and do that, especially since this is an off night. So Carl, you are 66 through 75, sir. And let me go ahead and do that. All right. So I need some more recommendations here. Okay. I'm going to put down, okay, we're just going to call it right out. It's an adult show, right? We're going to say ice cream / sex. All right. Okay. I think most people would agree that sex has to be more important than cruising because obviously we wouldn't be here. Okay. So I also think that most people are pretty fond with ice cream. So I think we can put that down first. So we have 3 of our 50. Okay. Roderick Hawkins says grandchildren. You know what? I don't think there's going to be any debate over grandchildren. I think grandchildren definitely make the top 50 list. So yeah. And I thought about putting family in general, but I think you could be more specific because there's not too many, as family. I mean, you can have your grandchildren, you could have your moms. So let's put moms on there. Let's put dads on there. Let's put brothers on there. And let's put sisters on there. Right? I don't know if cousins make the list, right? I mean, some cousins do, but I don't know if everybody would be in agreement. So here's what we got so far. We got air. We got sex. We got ice cream. We got grandchildren. We got moms. We got dads. We got brothers. We got sisters. Is there any disagreement on those first 8 of 8 things better than cruising? Okay, Patty Cake says niece, nephew. Okay, I'm going to put them, we'll put them on the same line. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put brothers and sisters on the same line. And I think moms and dads can be separate. Those 2 can stand alone. But we got to have grandmas and grandpas, right? So we're going to put grandmas and grandpas. Okay, so we got grandchildren, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandmas and grandpas, nieces and nephews. All right. Oh, and I got to do my drink here. Okay, so come here. This is for Carl. High five for Carl. High five. What do you say to him? For Carl. What do you say to him? Okay, good. All right. And then I got to do, and so now, Carl, since I already did the whistle pig, we get we get to hopefully finish the show here. Although I might be tested tonight, depending upon how many of these I do. This is slightly lower proof, but we got the Old Forester going. And Carl, sir, thank you. Here we go. All right. Sandy, I like where you're. I see yours too, Will. Let me go back up here. Yeah. So, all right. So Cruising Chris Moss, we're going to the top, and we're going to work our way down here. And you can keep adding to the list here. So Cruising Chris Moss says, what's better than a cruise, making whoopee on a cruise, trying to keep it PG-13? Yes, or having ice cream on a cruise. Ice cream, as the cruise directors would say. Mandy says, but so many things you can say that are better than cruising, but you can get ice cream or tacos on a cruise. I don't. I think I know where you're going, Mandy, but I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. But if my mind is doing the things that it does, I think I know. But I love tacos too. You know what? As a matter of fact, we're going to write that down as number 10. Tacos, because we wouldn't want to deprive the world of tacos for sure. Roderick, I got grandchildren, and you're the reason I put that down. Will G. Okay. Now, I thought about this, right? So, because I think we could fill up this really fast. So, instead of putting bourbon, I'm going to put liquor. And then, so that pretty much covers everything, right? Your rum, your vodka, all that other stuff. So, I'm going to put liquor. But there are a couple other things in the liquor family, so when I say liquor, I'm not referring to some of the lesser proof alcohol varieties. So I think you all know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to give them away. I want you to come up with them on your own. So in the alcohol family, besides liquor, what is another form of adult beverages? We got Frankie Floyd, the Emerald Coast Cruiser, checking in. I don't think there's going to be any argument on this one. You know what? So we got Sandy says dogs. And I think, I mean, there's probably more dog families out there than cat families. But, I mean, there's certainly a lot of cat families. So we're going to put dogs and cats. Okay, and we'll put them on two separate lines. I think, they deserve a separate line, right? Here's our first no of the day. No, that's not going to work. But Ben suggested the Brewers, and that's baseball. Okay, so could baseball? I'm going to write that down, and if we need to cross something off, we don't want to get rid of baseball, right? Like if we had to get rid of something, I'm not saying you would rather go see baseball, play baseball, but I'm talking about in the whole scheme of the world and everything else like that. Would baseball be better than cruising? That one's debatable, right? I think that is, because you experience a cruise probably more than you experience baseball. But then you got to think about all the kids that play baseball as growing up, and what impact that made on them, you enjoying baseball games as an adult, everything else like that. So I mean, I think that one, I got that written down. We can come back to it. Carl, okay. So, yeah, Carl says a great big ribeye. And when we got tacos down there already, we got ice cream down there already. I think steak can be in a category by itself, right? I mean, anybody that's not vegetarian, who doesn't want to have steak on the top 50? And I mean, could you say, anybody that's a meat eater, that you'd never enjoy a steak either prior to cruising or, if cruising were to go away, that, I think steak could definitely be on this list here. And I'm interested to see how many of you want to take something off the list. Okay. Mandy says dogs because that's not something typically allowed on a cruise, and I love my dog. And Mandy, yes. So come here. We're talking about dogs, and you're not even sitting up here by me. You're not being a good co-host. So have a treat there. Okay. Yeah, for a second there, I thought I forgot to give her Carl's treat, but I remember I did. Ooh, I like this one. So Marianne McGee says the sound of the ocean. So if you're not on a cruise or you had to lose the cruise, you could still have the sound of the ocean or just the ocean in general, enjoying the ocean, right? Going to the beach. So I'll put ocean/beach, just everything that comes with the ocean and the beach, right? Okay. All right. Okay. And speaking of ocean, all right. And, we got Sandy. She says crabs, and specifically from Maryland. So let's put crabs and lobsters on the same line. And you know what? I'm just going to write these down for now. And again, we can debate these. I'll get the list of 50 down here, and then we can debate these later. So I put crabs and lobsters. I'll put crawfish on there as well on that same line. Okay. But the whole crustacean family, we'll put that on there. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. So Patty, I think, I mean, I don't think the world could survive without coffee. So that one's going to stay on the list. That one, I don't think anybody's going to debate. And then Will, yeah, he got it here. This was one of the other ones I was thinking of. He said beer. So in that beer family, I think women more than men. But what's another drink with alcohol that's very popular? That's one that, okay. Sleeping in your own bed. I like that. Bed at home. Sleep. Being home. So home in general. You know what? Yeah, we'll just put home, right? We'll put home. Roderick Hawkins says safari. Okay. So that would go along with travel, right? A specific form of travel that's not cruising. I'm going to put safari fast / travel. Oh yeah. And Mandy, yeah, the Cubs and the Braves are playing. She's right about that. And yeah, we'll see how they do. I know the Braves aren't having the year they normally do. Normally they're really, really good. This year they're having a bit of a down year. So this is one that maybe him and I would agree with, but I can't put this up there. But okay, we can put NFL. How about we put NFL? That covers all of our favorite teams. We'll put NFL and college football. Well, just football in general. Did I have that down earlier? I had baseball down, but I didn't have football down. So we'll put NFL. We'll put football in general. Football. Okay. So we got that down as one of the. Patty says Yankees, and yeah, no, but you know what? We have baseball down, so baseball is going to go under that umbrella. Okay. Tim is saying Coca-Cola. Should we put soft drinks down? Okay. Would the world prefer to have soft drinks over cruising? And I think you could make a strong argument for that, right? You probably could make a strong argument for that. Mandy says, go Braves. Tim is a Reds and Steelers fan. Yes, that is one right here. Absolutely. This one was not coming off the list. This is the most important thing, arguably, right? Without your health, what do you got? So I can't agree more with that one. So yeah, excellent one there. Going to the World Series. Okay, so that would Roger Hawkins. Yeah, would put that under baseball. Okay, yeah, and Tim has another one. Your spouse or partner, right? Spouse or partner. Yep. I don't think that one would come off the list. Mandy says, true, Chris, agree on health. We got Eric, the North Shore Traveler, checking in. He says, hey, coach and crew. And Eric, we have you down in the drawing. You are numbers 18 through 27. We are halfway there. Carl got us to 75 with his last super chat. So I think there's a decent chance we do another drawing today. So good luck to everybody that's in that drawing. And here it is. Admin Tim comes through here. This was the other liquor or alcohol that I was thinking of. So we have liquor, beer, and wine. I think that pretty much covers the alcohol family. So yeah. And Sandy the Lost Pirate Jenkins also. Carl Hamilton says, go Angels. Great minds think alike. At Tim, yes. Giddy up Braves. Brewers are beating the Phillies 5-0. Cubs are beating the Braves 1-0. Thanks for that, Ben. North Shore Travelers. Anyone say family? Yeah. So, Eric, we said grandchildren, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas, nieces, and nephews. So, yeah, I think we got family covered pretty well. I guess we didn't put down cousins, but I think we got enough family down to cover that whole list. All right, so let's get some more here. We have 26. Let me read you off for those of you that are coming in late. We only got 28 people here, so we got a children. Did I put sons and daughters? I don't think I did. Okay, yeah. We're going to put sons and daughters. Okay, because Patty said children, and I just realized, yeah, we had everything else listed, but not sons and daughters. Cruising Chris Moss. I love my wife and have been married for 35 years. She took a trip to Europe, so I took a cruise without her, just saying she didn't know until I picked her up from the airport. Oh, wow. Very cool. Well, I hope it was an exceptional trip for both of you, but that's cool that you both got to enjoy the world and travel apart. Okay, so here's the list so far. I put oxygen down. I don't know if anybody can beat oxygen in terms of, more important than cruising. We have sex down. We have ice cream, the regular ice cream, grandchildren, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas, nieces and nephews, tacos, liquor, dogs, cats, baseball, steak, the ocean / beach, crabs, lobsters, crawfish, seafood in general, kind of, coffee, beer, home, just being home, safari, travel in general, outside of cruising, obviously, the football, all right, soft drinks, your health, your spouse or partner, wine, sons and daughters. And one sport we don't have up here that is, I think, popular enough, actually two I just thought of. So basketball, and how about soccer, or as it's called in much of the world, football. So how about basketball, soccer, and football? I don't think people are going to want to give up soccer or football. And the world is really growing on basketball. So I think that is a big possibility. North Shore Traveler says men's Vikings cheerleaders. Yeah, I heard about that. In fact, there's a meme going around regarding that and Caleb Williams' fondness for your guys' cheerleaders. So if anybody's seen that meme. We have the crazy-eyed cruiser here who says, AKA Norm. Oh, this is Mike Clark. and he said he is sorry you're late. And all right, I got to try to keep track of the name changes. Were pets put down yet? We have dogs and cats, but you know what? We're going to put pets as a separate category. So anything that is not a dog or a cat, I think we could put down there because all pets are important. Some people love their birds, their fish, whatever the case may be, their iguanas, hamsters, guinea pigs, all those things. So yeah, we'll put that down. And let's see. And yeah, Stephanie, there is your quote right there. And then we had admin Tim. That's a good switch off. We've been married 47 years. We've both been on a cruise separate from each other. Very cool. And admin Tim and Cheryl, are you going to invite everybody to your 50th wedding anniversary in 3 years? I mean, that's pretty awesome to be married for 50 years. So for you guys, that's coming up in just 3 years. That's amazing. That is amazing. It really is. We got Derek of Floor 6910 going to a old school car show. All right, very cool. I got a friend that has an old car, and I've been to a couple of his shows, and that is really cool. Oh, that's one of the things you're putting down. Yeah, you know what? Automobiles. I mean, we don't even have to go old school car. We can just put down automobiles. I think everybody's going to agree, right? And speaking of automobiles, planes, trains. Okay, so automobiles, planes, and trains. Is there anybody that disagrees that any of those are more or less important than a cruise ship? I think most people are going to agree all of those take precedence over a cruise ship. So I think all of those will stick. That gets us up to 33. We're up to 33. We got 28 minutes to fill out the rest of this list. So we need memories. I love this. Sandy the Lost Pirate Jenkins. I think yes. I think yes. And I think that is a very creative answer and a true answer. Memories, right? I think your memories would be more important than going on a cruise. Absolutely. We talked about health, but memories, that's a great one. Okay, so we're up to 30. That was 34, so we need 35 through 50. Can we get to 50? Can we get to 50? Emerald Coast Cruiser says fishing. I'm going to write it down. And you know what? I mean, if you just talk about fishing for enjoyment, then I think that's a lot more debatable. But if you talk about fishing to feed people and keep people alive and people eating fish and everything, then I think fishing would probably have to stay on there, right? Has to stay on there. Same thing for farming, right? I mean, farming covers a lot of things. But one obvious one that I think needs to be on here, because I don't think anybody wants to never have the ability to eat like a salad or vegetables again. So vegetables got to be on there, right? So that gets us up to number 38. It gets us up to number 38. Can we make it? Oh, Will G. Yes, absolutely. Well, absolutely in terms of my thinking, but Will G says military. Absolutely. I mean, military, and I think we'll have military be a separate thing by itself. But how about we put law enforcement, firemen? Okay, and I'm going to put this one down for Chris and kind of myself too, and Mandy, anybody else out there. We're going to put down teachers. All right, we'll do that. So that gets us up. That was number 41. All right, so we only need to get 8 more, and we will be there. We got Seg in the house. What's going on, Seg? And looky here, we got Sherry and Jay, and they are on a cruise right now. They're on a cruise right now and they checked in, and Sherry and Jay, thank you so much for that. So you are numbers 76 through 125. Or is that 125? It's fine. 76 through 125. Yeah. 76 through 125. So that means we're only 25 away from doing this. And so come here. Come on. All right. Got to give a high five for Sherry and Jay on the cruise ship. High five. What do you say to him? What do you say? There you go. She says thank you. And let's get this out here. We're going to do, I got 3 bottles up here. I haven't done this one yet. This is the name of my mother. My last name is Dowling, for you that don't know that. And my mother's name was Mary Beth Dowling. So there you go. This is my mom's bourbon. I wish it was actually hers, because I'd probably be wealthier than I am. But it's got her name on it. So Sherry and Jay, thank you so much, and continue to enjoy your cruise. And I'll tell you what, those of you that are friends with Sherry and Jay, they have shared some fabulous pictures on Facebook, which I have enjoyed very much. And as I mentioned earlier, Sherry and Jay text me, some pictures from their cruise and the bar crawl that was going on and how crazy it was. So I appreciate that. So Sherry and Jay, continue to live your best lives. They both look fabulous. Those of you that have seen pictures, they're doing great and living their best lives, which all of us should aspire to do. So cheers to you, and thank you for that super chat. Ooh, wow, that one hit. Okay. All right. Search and rescue. I know a guy. Yeah. Okay. Military, law enforcement, firemen, teachers. Okay. Yeah, I think that would go under military, no? Eric? Just, I don't know. I think that would fall under that umbrella, wouldn't it? Cruising Chris Moss. Sounds great. We booked a 17-day Japan for the summer of 2027 for our 30. Oh, that's amazing. And I have friends, Lewis and Monsi. They did the Japan cruise, and that's pretty awesome. Did we got? Let's see. Hey, Scott. Which Scott are we talking about? Did we got controversial cruising checking in? I didn't see. I saw Seg. Oh yeah, there he is, way up here. I just barely saw you. Oh, and you actually twice. Now I got to scroll up and see if there's anybody else. Oh my God, you typed it in for, like, oh my God, you're up here all these times, and how did I miss you? Okay, I must have been rambling away there. But we got Scott from Controversial Cruising. I think I mentioned Derek. Yeah, I believe I did. But yeah, Scott, how about you? You always do the match game and everything. How about you give us an answer here that we don't have? Oh, wait. Okay, so let's see. All right. We got Bridget. Yeah, Patty, you said house. I put down home because Mandy had put that, like sleeping in your bed at home. So I put down home as one general thing. Bridget says being in good company on a cruise. That's the thing, though, Bridget. The only thing is this is 50 things better than cruising. So that would be on a cruise. So we're trying to say what's better than a cruise. But none of us disagree with you on that. It's just for the sakes of this exercise. Okay, Will G says music and concerts. So yeah, I mean, music. I think music could stand alone by itself, right? I mean, I don't think the world's going to get rid of music for cruising. So I think that one will stand by itself and just stick, and nobody's going to even debate that one. First responders could bundle some. We are emergency medical service volunteers. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put that one. I'm gonna put that one down. as its own separate category, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. So I have military, law enforcement, firemen, teachers, and first responders. Okay, I got all that down. Here's one that I don't think anybody can argue with either. Doctors, right? Doctors, nurses, medical. Okay, I don't think anybody can argue with that one. So I'm going to put that one down too. Sandy the Lost, Will G. Yeah, an obvious one that we didn't have up there. Will G says friends. That's an obvious one, right? That one can't come down. That one's just going to be up there. Now, Sandy Lost Pirate Jenkins, this one, I'm going to put this one in light pencil. I love that you're putting an answer up there, but I think people could give up roller coasters for cruising. So that one's going to be a light pencil because I think that one might be a race. Let me write that one very lightly. All right, let me just read through. We are at 45, not counting that last one from Sandy there. That would be 46 technically, but that's in light pencil because I think that one might get bumped off. But here's what we got. These are the 45 we got. We need 5 more to hit our 50, and we got almost 20 minutes to do it, so I think we're going to get there. We have oxygen, sex, ice cream, grandchildren, moms, dads, brothers and sisters, grandmas and grandpas, nieces and nephews, tacos, liquor, dogs, cats, baseball, steak, the ocean, crabs, lobster, crawfish, kind of all together. I guess you could throw shrimp in there, oysters, all that kind of stuff in that same category. Coffee, beer, home, being in your bed at home, being home, period. Travel outside of cruising, like a safari, something like that. NFL, college football, football in general. Soft drinks like Coke, Pepsi, Kool-Aid, whatever. Your health, your spouse or partner, wine, sons and daughters, basketball, soccer, or what it's called most of the world, football, pets in general, not outside of dogs and cats, automobiles, planes, trains, memories, fishing, and not just fishing for your personal pleasure, but fishing on a larger scale for the world. We can put that in there. And I don't think that would come off. Farming cannot come off. I mean, because the world would die without farmers, right? Vegetables, the military, law enforcement, firemen, teachers, music. And I'm surprised it took us that long for somebody to come up with that, but thank you. I think Will G did that. First responders, and then doctors, nurses, medical. I got all of those together. Friends. Okay, I got one in case. Let me just make sure we like roller coasters on a cruise. Tim says, chemist and anyone else who works at a nuclear power plant. Yeah, you know what? Scientists. I'll clump scientists and chemists together. All right, here I'm gonna put one down that I think is an obvious one, but we're gonna put down like literature, books, writing. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Crazy-eyed cruiser. Yeah. I mean, money makes the world go round. Very good. And then I think nowadays you would have to say nobody's giving up like their cell phones or computers, right? So I think technology is going to surpass cruising, right? And Sandy just put down YouTube. North Shore Travelers. Yeah. North Shore Travelers just said electricity. Yeah, I mean, we can't go without that. And you know what? We'll go put plumbing, heat, AC. All of those go together, right? Electricity, plumbing, heat, AC. I put them all on one category. But yeah, I mean, utilities in general. Roger Hawkins is winning the lottery tonight. Roderick, when you win the lottery, don't forget about the small people. Okay, don't forget to check back. Patty Cakes has medicine, and that is a great answer. I put that down. I think along with the doctors, nurses, medical. I included medical like in there, but yeah, that's probably separate enough that I could have. Okay, so look, Tim says I didn't have AC when I was a kid. All right, so look, we hit the 50. So now, like, it's just, do we want to replace some things? Let me read off the 50 for everybody. We have air. You know what? Let me take a drink here. And thank you everybody. By the way, so far this week we got Carl, Chris Moss. Carl did a $2 super chat, then a $10 super chat, and then we have Sherry and Jay, and we're only 25 away from doing the next drawing. But let me take a little drink, and then I'm going to read through all 50 that we have, and we have 50 things that you all say, who are avid cruisers, are more important than cruising. So give me a moment. This, by the way, has no alcohol in it. Normally it does, but like I said, I haven't eaten in a couple days, so I felt like the alcohol was hitting me a lot faster. So that's why I didn't put alcohol in this one. Okay, here we go. Oxygen, ice cream / sex, ice cream / ice cream, grandchildren, moms, dads, brothers, sisters is number 7. And these are in no, logical order or whatever. Grandmas and grandpas, number 8. Nieces and nephews, number 9. 10 is tacos. 11 is liquor. 12 is dogs. 13 is cats. 14 is baseball. 15 is steak. 16 is the ocean. 17 is seafood, basically crab, lobster, crawfish, oysters. 18 is coffee. 19 is beer. 20 is home. 21 is travel in general. 22 is football. 23 is soft drinks. 24 is your health. 25 is your spouse or partner. 26 is wine. 27 is sons and daughters. 28 is basketball. 29 is soccer / football. 30 is pets in general, not just dogs and cats. 31 is automobiles. 32 is planes. 33 is trains. 34 is memories. 35 is fishing, and not just on a small scale, but on a large scale also. 36 is farming. 37 is vegetables. 38 is military. 39 is law enforcement. 40 is firemen. 41 is teachers. 42 is music. 43 is first responders. 44 is doctors, nurses, medical. 45 is friends. 46 is scientists. 47 is literature. 48 is money. 49 is technology. And 50 is utilities like electricity, plumbing, heat, air conditioning. And I'm surprised that one came so late, right? Because how important is that? How bad would our life be without like electricity and plumbing and heating? I mean, our lives got so much better since the frontier days. So Tim is saying make all related items as one item, aka like sports. So instead of having football, basketball, baseball, have them just as sports. And I don't disagree with that. I think that we could, we could do that. So if we're going to make this like a real strategic list or whatever, you could do that with alcohol too, probably, right? Instead of having liquor, beer, and wine, you could probably just say alcohol, and then beer and wine be included with the liquor as one category, and then we could add some more. But I mean, you could make an argument on several of these, right? Like, like tacos and steak and things like that. You could just say food, but I wanted to allow for some specific. Okay, I've been drinking. I've done shots. Specificity. 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 I want everybody to do however many shots I've done and say specificity. Specific. Okay, I quit. I quit. I'm not even going to try to do it. I can do it sober. Specificity. I said that wrong. Or specificity. Okay, never mind. I quit. Cruising Chris Moss. No adult beverage. Blasphemy. Coach needs a shot and Zoe needs a treat. Then we need 10 more for the drawing. Yes, I love that. Chris Moss. I love Chris's thinking, great minds. 126 through 140. Here we go. Zoe, come here. You want another treat? Another treat? Yes, you do. Of course you do. High five for Cruising Chris Moss. High five. What do you say to Cruising Chris Moss? Say it louder. Say thank you. Okay. There you go. Good girl. All right. And that means I need a shot. So we'll go back. We'll visit mom again. We'll visit mom again in heaven. Mom is starting to run out here. So we don't have too many more shots with mom. I have to get another bottle. But I will say, I'll tell you, mom, those of you that watched that show a while back when it was a Mother's Day show, and you can see it's hitting me. I can hear it in my own voice that it's hitting me. But yeah, mom tore me up that one day. It was a Mother's Day episode. So Cruising Chris Moss, thank you, sir. Ooh. Okay, we're only 10 away from doing the drawing. So I think we might make it. Oh my God, yes, absolutely. So let me start adding some more here. But yeah, and some of these that are so obvious, like Eric from North Shore Travelers. I mean, water, duh. I mean, we're all dead without water, and that was like made it after our 50s. So you see how we think. And some of these, are just so obvious. That's obviously one. Seg says family. And Seg, you're not wrong. Obviously, that has to be locked in. But we did so much family. We did grandchildren, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas. And we put them all in separate categories. But we could condense all of them into one and then make a stronger list of 50 if we just wanted to throw everybody in, to family. The farming and vegetables are in the same. You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. So we can make that one. Okay. So I'm going to make that one. Yeah. And the good thing is I had those right on top of each other. So yeah, good thought. North Shore Travel, like police, fire, and etc., could be under first responders. Yeah, absolutely. So I think we could. Yeah, and Tim is saying 2 more shots, then say it, Coach. Specificity. I think I got it. Specificity. I think I said it right. Didn't I say it right? Put it in the comments. Did I say it right? Specificity. I think I said it right. And that's a tough word, I think, to say in general. But to say it with a certain number of shots, I feel like I passed on that. All right. So look, we have only about 5 minutes left, just over 5 minutes. And look at that. And Admin Tim says, I passed the test. So does that mean, do we have any police on the chat today? I'm not talking about a breathalyzer, but I'm talking about, would I have passed the verbal test? If I can say, I feel like if you were going to be tested for drinking too much and you could say specificity, I feel like you should pass. I feel like that should just be like, oh, okay. He said specificity. Okay, I can't say it now, so I failed. But if I could have said it, then I feel like, that should just be all that. I get a new alcohol test thing. Specificity. say it 5 times fast. Look at that. We got Eric, the North Shore Travelers. And you know what? I'm glad this came up because Eric, just send me another message with your address again. And anybody, Mandy, I think I already sent you yours, but anybody, and Patty Cakes, send me yours. Send me yours also. But just send me a separate message. Anybody that's a member, I have, a member gift, which is a collapsible cooler. And I wish I had one in my office right here with me right now. But I don't. But yeah, it's a collapsible cooler. And it's like this big, it's, yeah. And it could probably hold, I think I had it on a cruise and I think I fit 8 like 16-ounce beers in there with ice. So it's a nice size collapsible cooler. And yeah, and Cruising Chris Moss, I think I sent you yours, didn't I? I thought I sent you yours in the regular cooler. But yeah, no, Cruising Chris Moss is a member for 4 months as well. Absolutely. And look at that. We got Eric from North Shore Travelers. He's going to get us to the 150. Chris was saying, hey, get us 10 more. And then Eric from North Shore Travelers makes it happen right here. So 141 through 150. And you know what? And then we got the Crazy Eyed Cruiser right behind. So look, you know what? Here's the thing, Crazy Eyed Cruiser. And I think that's Mike Clark, right? Wait. I got to go back. Did I get that right? I hope I got it right. Hold on. I'm going back through all the messages here. I want to make sure. Crazy Eyed Cruiser. What about money? Crazy Eyed Cruiser. Did I get that right? I hope I did. Okay. Either way. All right. So North Shore Travelers, Crazy Eyed Cruiser. I will do another one. Not only will I do another one, but I'm going to give you, since you guys did the 10 to 10 back to back, I'm going to, and Crazy Eyed Cruiser, you're number 1 through 10, by the way. All right. So for the next drawing. But I wanted to make sure you switched your name, right? Is that right? I'm pretty sure. Okay, the shots are obviously hitting me, but I was looking for that message. Okay, it was above. Yeah, Mike Clark. Okay, so I was right. Okay, so I was like freaking out there. I thought I didn't want to get your name wrong. So yes, and then Crazy Eyed Cruiser says yes. Okay, Mike Clark. Cruising Chris Moss. Yes, I received mine. So yeah, anybody, and Frankie Floyd is a member also. And Frankie Floyd, I don't think I've sent you yours. So yeah, if you guys, everybody that's a member, if you could please send me a message and just throw your address up there again. I've been trying to send out a couple a week, but some of you, I haven't sent you anything for so long that I got to dig up your address or whatever. So yeah, if you could please send me your address, especially if you've been a member for, more than a couple months, I definitely want to take care of you on that. So Eric from North Shore Travelers, let me go through the numbers here. We have Sherry and Jay 1 through 17, Eric North Shore Travelers 18 through 27, JB 28 through 37, Chris Moss 38 through 47. And then starting off tonight, we have Carl H 48 and 49, Chris Moss 50 through 65, Carl again 66 through 75, Sherry and Jay 76 through 125, cruising right now. And then Cruising Chris Moss once again 126 through 140, and Eric the North Shore Traveler, 141 through 150, and he's also 18 through 27, and Chris has got a couple in there as well. We got the Crazy Eyed Cruiser. You are starting us off for next week. You are numbers 1 through 10, Mike Clark, that is. And Crazy Eyed Cruiser and North Shore Traveler, we're going to do the Whistle Pig for you since you both tried to get us to the finish line. So I'm going to do the 100 proof for you guys against my better judgment. For both of you here. And oh my God, I poured more than I wanted to pour there. That is a full shot. Zoe, come here. treat. Come here. Get a treat. You got Eric, the North Shore Traveler, and Mike Clark, the Crazy-Eyed Cruiser. High five for both of them for getting us to the finish line. High five. High five. You had too many treats? Is that it? You said thank you. Okay, good. Good, hearty thank you to end everything. All right. So here we go. Eric, Mike, thank you, sirs. Oh, man. Okay. Speaking of water, let me get some. And we got to do the drawing. All right. So let me get my screen blanked out here. Everybody sees the screen is blank. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 150. 112. Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. You know what? And here's the thing. So she says she's lucky, and I'm convinced of it now. So 112, Sherry called in with or sent in a $50 super chat. She has numbers 76 through 125, and the number was 112. The number was 112. So Sherry and Jay are cruising. They're probably not even watching this right now. But once again, Sherry has won, and she doesn't have a cooler yet. I don't know if Sherry and Jay want a cooler. They go out fishing a lot, so maybe they'll have some use for it. But if Sherry and Jay are still online, congratulations, you all have won. And I'll tell you what, I thought that I would have fun with this episode because it was just fun. And you know what? This is some of the most interactive, feedback we've had and comments and things like that, because all of you are contributing and throwing out your ideas and stuff for 50 things that are more important than cruising and stuff like. So I appreciated that. And it made it a fun night for me, especially considering that it's an off night. Normally Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's our normal time slot, a normal day. And then once again, you all showed up. If you haven't already hit the like button, I know Patty Cakes mentioned that earlier, hit the like button if you could. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you all did as well. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. And we will see you all and see you all later. And happy cruising, everybody. Peace. Let me hit the end button and